All right, so I made up a review, all right, a quiz review, and I put /test review because if it's on your quiz, it's also going to be on your test, all right? So your quiz on Monday is like a test preview, all right? Now, it's not as many questions as your test, but it's a lot of the same concepts. So now we've covered all the content, we've learned everything you need to learn. We are going to spend a little more time on the mean or the average because that's, and it's like your rainfall example from your quiz yesterday. All right, because that's just one that we weren't able to cover in class because I was out with sick children. Okay, and it happens. All right, so I'm recording this so you guys have a chance to go back over the weekend and watch it. All right, try to keep it as short as possible, but just pop in those AirPods and you can kind of listen to this over and help you study. Okay, it's not a typo. I numbered it number 2 because I asked my first hour a question verbally, okay, and this will be on your quiz and test, your song. All right, so we're going to sing it together. Y'all sing it with me, okay? Same sign, add and keep, different sign, subtract. Take the sign of the larger number, then you'll be exact, okay? That's going to help you with number 1 on your quiz. Now let's get to number 2. I'd like you to give me, and you don't necessarily have to write it down on your desk or on your paper, but I'm going to ask you to give me a real life example of this expression. Okay, so it can just be a statement, but a real life example of -20 or -120 plus 20. Anybody want to give it a shot? Michael?
I spent $120 at Best Buy and the cashier gave me 20 back.
Okay, very good. So some kind of explanation. Mikhail, you want to give me one?
I burned 120 calories.
Very good. Or I lost 120 pounds and then I gained 20 pounds. Most of y'all would disappear if you lost that much weight, okay? So just some kind of real life example of those terms. I'm not asking you to solve it on your quiz, and I'll clarify that on Monday. If by chance I have another child fall ill, and hopefully, Lord willing, I will have 0 missed days the rest of the year, but now you at least know what I'm asking for on Monday. Okay. All right, number 3, 40 minus 50. 40 minus 50. Write it down. Write it down. 40 minus 50. You can just write the answer on your desk. We're trying to get through some of these a little quicker than others. All right, Haley, what you think? -10. So are we recognizing that 40 is positive and 50 is negative? Are you guys recognizing that? That's a subtraction sign, but it means 50 is negative. So my answer is -10. All right, now this next one can be done 2 different ways. I don't care which one. I will tell you that I converted the mixed numbers to improper fractions because that's the way I've taught you this whole unit, okay? Now, if you recognize something about the first one, okay, and you want to change that and then keep working, you can. At some point, you're going to need an LCD, okay? All right, so I'm going to give you guys a minute to work through number 4. Again, I will accept several different ways of you showing your work, but at some point, you're going to have to find an LCD. Zoe, have an answer for me? All right. Do you guys agree? -16/12? She's super close. What did she forget to do, Destiny? Reduce it. Very good. Okay. So here's what I did, guys. I went ahead and changed it to -20/4. Did anybody make it -5/1? Okay. Totally fine. Then your LCD was 3. Okay, I made it -20/4 and my LCD was 12. Okay, so my numbers were a little bigger than yours were if you did 5/1. That's fine. -60 plus 44 is -16. And then just don't forget to reduce it. If you make it a mixed number, that's totally fine also. Either answer is acceptable for your quiz and your test. All right, how'd you guys do on that one? That was probably the first one to kind of challenge you guys. Okay. All right, so now we have I'm not going to read it because I don't want to give anything away. All right, I need you to come up with your answer for number 5. Okay, here's your hint. Commutative property. Multiplicative inverse. All right, there's your hint. Okay, you're still going to get it. You're still going to get it if you do it the long way. You're just not going to be happy. Yeah. Okay, so catch it on Monday. The smiles, all right? The smiles are coming from the ones who caught it. Where's my multiplicative inverse?
5.
Yes. And because it's all multiplication, now don't let the parentheses throw you off. The parentheses is just a grouping. We see that it's all multiplication, so we can switch them around. -5/6 times -6/5. Those cross cancel down to 1. 1 times any number is just that number. All right? So instead of doing, I know, you're going to be irritated with me, okay? But this drives home the point that we've been making. If you can catch your number properties, it makes your life so much easier, okay? So try to catch those inverses where you can. All right? We're halfway done. All right? Now, distance. You have one distance problem on your quiz Monday. You need to find the distance between -18 and -5.5. Now, if you want to sketch a number line, it's a good idea. I'm not going to require you to, but sketching a number line helps you remember, all right, same side of 0 or opposite sides of 0, and then what you would do with their absolute values. Remember, distance is never negative. Even if I run a mile backwards, has anybody ever tried to do that? That would be, I can't even run a mile forwards. Let's be honest right now, okay? I need to get in shape, okay? It's still a positive distance. Distance is never negative. Okay, so I did sketch a quick number line just to show you guys, are these numbers on the same side of 0 or on opposite sides? They're on the same side of 0. So does anybody remember my rule when they're on the same side? Subtract their absolute values. That's why I wrote the minus sign there. You're going to subtract to find the distance between the two of them. All right, so what do you do when they're on opposite sides of 0? You will add their absolute values. And remember, it's only absolute value. So when I do my subtraction, did anybody get 12.5? Did you guys get 12.5? All right. If you did not get 12.5, do you see where you messed up? Okay. So it's on the same side of 0. Now don't get these rules confused with each other. All right. Distance is handled differently, mainly with absolute value. Okay. All right. Next problem. Okay. What do those vertical bars mean? Absolute value. Okay. So I tried to write it neatly. But can everybody read that okay? I had some complaints earlier that they couldn't tell if it was a negative or not. Okay? I mean, the 10, it's a little curvy, but it's hard to do on the iPad, all right? So cut me some slack. All right, so the 10 is negative and the 5 is negative. That's a subtraction sign after the 55. All right, I'll give you guys a minute to solve this one. All right, so what did you find when you took the absolute value of -10? Did you get 10? Yeah. All right, so it's just say plus 10 plus 55 minus 5. All right, so look at this right here. What's 55 minus 5? 50. So what if I combine that? Do you see anything? See any inverses? 50 and 50. -50, +50. Your answer is 10. Okay? So again, look for those shortcuts. Okay? Now, if you did it the other way and you did -50 plus 10 is -40. -40 plus 50 is still +10. You're still going to get to the right answer. It just makes things a little bit easier. Okay? That commutative property can make our life a lot easier. All right, you do have a complex fraction on your quiz. You have 1 on your quiz on Monday, okay? So I want to let you guys get started on it, all right? And then I'll kind of follow up behind you. Okay, so negative 11 over 7, there's nothing to simplify. Did you find common denominators on the bottom? Did you guys get that far? So did you get negative 2 over 8 minus 3 over 8? Okay, now you can combine those fractions. What's negative 2 minus 3? Negative 5 over 8, okay? Now that everything is simplified, does anybody remember what I do next? Now, yeah, split it apart, okay? So I like to say pull it apart. Pull this complex fraction apart. And then, yes, you are correct, Daniel. Okay, KFC. Now, unfortunately, does anything cross-reduce? No, okay? It'll be a little bit nicer, a little bit cleaner on your quiz, okay? But if nothing cross-reduces, just multiply it across. But why was my answer positive 88 instead of negative? I multiplied two negatives. Because there's how many negatives, guys?
2.
2 negatives makes a positive value. All right? You can make this a mixed number if you want, but you do not have to. Okay? You can leave it improper. All right? Almost done. Almost done. Number 9. Okay. Number 9, I need to give you a scenario. Okay? This is similar to the scenario. You're going to have to listen because I didn't type it out. Okay? A baby killer whale is born. And when, we'll just say it's a she, is born, she weighs 500 pounds. I'm just making this up. I have no idea how much they weigh when they're born. They probably weigh a lot. Okay, so she weighs 500 pounds. After 6 months, she weighs now 2,300 pounds. What is the mean average growth?
How much?
I'll repeat it, over 6 months. Okay, so this is like your rainfall example from your quiz yesterday. All right, so I'm going to say it again. A baby killer whale, a baby orca, is born and weighs 500 pounds. Over the next 6 months, she grows to weigh 2,300 pounds. What is the mean average growth over those 6 months? I am going to ask for an expression, just like that division I showed you on the quiz. I'm going to ask you to show me an expression, not just an answer. So you have to have the expression and then the answer boxed in, okay? So what kind of division and subtraction did you do to get to your answer? All right? Okay. Obviously, you're dividing, right, to get to your answer, okay? What are you dividing by?
6.
Okay. What number would you divide by 6? Are you going to divide 2,300 divided by 6?
Yes.
No, because she already weighed 500 pounds. So how much did she gain in 6 months? If she was born weighing 500 pounds and now she weighs 2,300 pounds, you have to figure out how much weight she gained. Okay? So how would you figure that out? Addition, subtraction? So that's what you need to show me. Okay, you have to find the amount of the increase or decrease, okay? All right, or, the sum. That's how you find the mean. Then you're going to divide it because I said what's the mean monthly growth. That's why you divide it by 6 because you're trying to figure out how much per month. All right, so 1,800 pounds total in 6 months means that she grew how much? 300 pounds a month, okay? 300 pounds a month. And actually, that was the last problem, okay? You do have a bonus. You will want to be familiar with commutative property, or you probably won't get it, okay? So you do have a bonus on your quiz Monday as well. So these are, your quiz Monday is 15 questions. We did 9 of them. But remember, some of the questions, I might have given you 1, but maybe there's 2 or 3 on your quiz. So we've covered the bulk of what's on your quiz. We kept the review video under 15 minutes. That will be convenient for you guys to watch over the weekend as you study. What's the other way you can study?
With that test.
With the The quizzes, what the two small quizzes that you've already taken, go back and look at what you missed. Look at how to correct those problems. Even though that's not an assignment, fix the problems. Now, if you fix them, don't fix them on your quiz, guys. All right, do it on a separate sheet of paper. So you don't want to erase anything on a quiz.
Can you get extra points?
No, but on your quiz Monday, you will do quiz corrections. Okay, but that's just a homework grade.
For extra points?
That's a homework grade. Okay, all right, so that's everything we're going to cover for today for your quiz review.